In a devlog a couple of episodes ago, I made a joke about not having a pop filter. Well, I got an Amazon account, bitches. Hello, my name is Matt Jazz and I have tasked myself to make a visual novel by myself. Today is devlog number 6, so without further ado, let me show you what I've been working on. So, in the last video we created the background, and I'm genuinely really happy with how it turned out. So, let's start adding some characters to this thing. So for those of you who don't know, I am making a visual novel that centers around a back alley ramen stall, and at night this stall is visited by cats. These cats live in a society very similar to ours, with day-to-day jobs, etc. So my main focus is 6 main characters, all of whom will interact in some way as the story progresses, and I have a couple of character ideas in mind. So I made some notes about what potential characters I could have, mainly based on their jobs, and then from their day job will depend on what their needs and wants would be. So as you can see on the list, you have things from like a fast food worker, to like a father figure, a DJ, florist, janitor, chef, that kind of thing. Even characters that would be roughly nearby or in the near vicinity, like the police, so on and so forth. And then narrowed it down to 6 main character types. The office worker, the stray cat, the trust fund baby, the famous/celebrity cat, the bodyguard for this cat, and a fisherman. All of whom I have a couple of sentences to describe what their importance will be in the story. I then took these sentences and used a tool which I've never used before and I think people overlook, and that's ChatGPT. For those of you who are unsure, ChatGPT is like an AI client where you basically ask it a question and it will use all the data on the internet to create stuff for you. So using these sentences, I asked it to create a character profile for each of the characters I had in mind, and then it would write it out in a nice character profile format, complete with names, jobs, synopsis, and even a small story arc. This would be a great foundation for when I actually start writing the story itself. And I think tools like this can be overlooked, especially when someone just gives you like a blank sheet of paper and tells you to draw something, as opposed to a blank sheet of paper and something to actually draw, a prompt. And then using this information, I can start creating and drawing the final 6 characters. I did this in my sketchbook and I would carry this thing around everywhere, whether it would be, at home, on the sofa, on the floor, while sleeping, on the toilet, the normal places. And then I had my final 6 designs for each character type I had in mind. And I kind of had a setup for each character design in terms of the head type and the body type. This wasn't by accident, this was designed on purpose, so if I liked a certain part of one design, I can take it and pop it onto another design. So I can swap heads, I can swap bodies, I can even swap hairstyles, glasses, that type of thing. So I can mix and match and create a variety of different characters. I'll probably be doing this further down the line when it comes to secondary characters if I need any. And then after all 6 characters had their initial designs and concepts done, I could bring it into Clip Studio Paint and start digitizing them. But before I did that, I had to figure out a size for this. Now luckily Clip Studio Paint works in vectors, so with the vector layers I can blow it up the size of a billboard and it won't lose quality. But what I initially did was bring it into the background and size it up and see roughly what size of one cat would be, making sure that there's space on the actual stage itself for multiple characters talking at once. And then with that, it was time to start actually drawing and figuring out the final designs for each. Starting with the office cat. The idea for this office cat is basically she'll work a day-to-day dead-end job. However, she has to work late nights. That's the reason why she comes to the ramen stall, as it's on the way home. However, her real passion is to pursue becoming a photographer, or an artist, or something along that similar vein. That's her place in the story, and then she'll interact with the other characters to start doing her artwork in her spare time, and eventually pursue her passion in the arts. So that's character number 1. Character number 2 will be the stray cat. The stray cat will just wander in to get out of the cold or the rain of the night, and a few of the additional characters will actually judge him. However, upon closer inspection, the stray cat has a very kind heart, despite having his trust broken multiple times. And this is one of the things that I want to do in the game. The player can actually name this cat further along in the story, as he's nameless from the start, and ends up becoming a very cherished character loved by the rest of the cast. Next we have the fisherman. The fisherman is sort of the old time character. A fisherman by day, he works long hours at sea, but his business is slowly crumbling as most cats are moving on to more adventurous and more exotic foods. The staples like fish are going to the wayside, and being an old time character, he doesn't know the ins and outs of marketing like social media, etc., which one of the other characters can help him out with, and thus saving his business as it's currently failing. Then we have the celebrity cat. The celebrity cat wants to just live a normal life, despite originally pursuing what is now her lifestyle. I'm still yet to decide what the celebrity of this type will be, whether it would be like a singer, or just like a reality TV star, or even a host, or something like that. But when I actually ended up designing her, when I actually put all the colours up together, she ended up looking kind of a bit like a cast member from Saved by the Bell, I'm not gonna lie. But I really liked how this one turned out, and I can't wait to start digging into her ins and outs of how she's got famous, and how she wants to deviate from that. The next character is the bodyguard. The bodyguard is dead self-explanatory. He is the bodyguard to the celebrity, and really as the story unfolds, you end out that he's actually her closest friend, as everyone who works alongside the celebrity is only doing it for the job. Because the bodyguard has spent so long with her, he actually sympathises with her. Despite his appearances and the scar across his face, he actually has a very warm heart, and people are actually shocked that he's not the violent type as they first thought that he was. And finally, the trust fund baby. The trust fund baby has had a silver spoon stuck in his mouth for the whole entirety of his life, and he comes to the ramen store and tries to blend in with the normal people, as it were. He speaks before he thinks, and this gets him into several situations that he has to apologise for and learn how to be a functioning human cat, member of society. So that's it, that's the main 6 all explained. And here they are all side by side on the main background, just to see how it all looks together, say if all 6 were in the scene at the same time. This could also be a good promo image for the game when it comes down to it as well. And I think it's time to start naming them. So, we have Jessie, the Stray, that's going to be named by the player. We have Oscar, Miss Kitty, this could probably change further down, this could just be her stage name for now. You've got Scar, named later on in the story, but you probably just have a plain name like, I don't know, Dave or something. And then you got Archibald for the trust fund baby. I think he'll probably just be nicknamed Archie, but he's given himself that name, but that'll depend on the story as well. And there you are, that is all 6 of the characters, all named, designed, and ready to be thrown headfirst into the story. And they're the main 6 characters. Obviously going forward, there's going to be a few secondary characters to slot in depending on what the stories are going to be. But that's the main 6 already down. Next episode we're going to be doing a little bit more management and seeing what the fuck I'm going to be doing with this game. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.